people now have this belief that their intuition or their feelings are now facts and they have the right to these things rather than earning them. I had one lady, she came on here before, and her point of view was that men should become more comfortable with their female partners having sex with other men in front of them, that cuckoldry should be something that should be very accepted. And I told her, I was like, that's fine that you have that opinion, but I just want to let you know that my audience is probably not going to agree with you. They didn't agree with her. They kind of destroyed her in the comments. And then I told her, I was like, hey, listen, it's not a big deal. These guys don't have this opinion. And then she's like, take all of those clips of me down and you're a narcissist for posting these. And I'm like, these are things you said, but how is this my fault? So that's one of the issues that I've seen before, is that people's feelings, people now have this belief that their intuition or their feelings are now facts and they have the right to these things rather than earning them. I'm just curious what you think about that.
No, I agree with that. There's a philosopher that says that we are the worst narrators of our own stories.
Correct.
No. And I completely agree with that. And it's very scary, especially when you don't heal yourself. And, like I've said on the podcast, it's so much easier to blame the world and other people for why you are the way that you are. And it's much easier to say that everyone wants really the worst things for you. Everyone's out to get you. People don't want you to succeed, versus admit to yourself that maybe you're just not that good at things, or maybe you're just not, maybe you're too lazy, that maybe you are, you keep failing because you don't really know what you want. That, to admit that to yourself, that's hard. So it's just easier to be like, well, you are terrible, versus saying, oh, maybe me talking about that everyone is really into cock holding. It's just my personal opinion because I'm trying it out. Now you kind of made me feel insecure about my opinions. So now I'm going to say that's your fault.
Yeah. So her point was that the majority of men would be comfortable with it if they tried. And I was like, hey, I don't think that doesn't make sense in evolution for me to watch the mother of my children get fucked by some other dude. So I totally respect the fact that you want to do it. My audience just turned on her. And I was like, listen, don't take it personal. It's just, you said that all guys would be comfortable with this. And the reality is, or no, she didn't say all, she said most. And I was like, I don't think most guys would be comfortable with this. After the fourth clip that we posted, she's like, you have to take these down. And then one time I'm doing an interview for 3.5 hours. And I don't take the video down while I'm doing the interview. And then she's just blocks me and calls me a narcissist. And I was like, no, you said these things on my show. I'm not the one who's a narcissist.
Well, cock holding, I obviously don't have enough research on that, but based on the top of my head,
I have no research on that. I have zero. Anyway, go ahead.
But psychology wise, cock holding is a kink, So
Yes.
that kinks are specific to people. And that would, psychology wise, it would have to do with someone who's probably powerful in business and on the outside is very alpha man. So maybe, and whatever happened to him in his childhood, that's why sexually he wants to be belittled. So that's definitely not something that all men would do. It has to be something very specific to your trauma or something in your life. For example, I'm very independent and boss-like in business in order to get what I need because there's no one helping me. But when I'm dating my partner, and in the bedroom, I like to really take the back seat.
Yeah.
And to let my partner be in control. I like a dominant partner in the bedroom and kind of when we're dating. And it's because I'm really tired when it comes to dating.
You come home. You want him to take over.
Yeah. So it's kind of the opposite. So I think that would be the logical explanation with cock holding, I would think. But again, I don't have the research.
No, we went over the research. There's a lot. What you're saying is typically true. My whole point is, from an evolutionary standpoint, it doesn't make sense for most people to be like that. For some people to be like that's totally fine, and I'm fully accepting of it. It's just what happens is her decisions now need to reflect on all of us, and the fact that we're not all doing it is somehow we have this. Men all secretly want to do this, and I'm like, no, I don't secretly want to do this. I'm very, very happy not doing this.
I don't like it. I will say one thing that bothers me. I don't like when people try to shame other people when they are not into whatever they're into.
Yes.
That really bothers me. I don't like when people also turn everything into facts. Like, oh, well, everyone now wants to have multiple partners at the same time. Like everyone's into situationships. Okay, if everyone's into, why are you crying when you're telling me about it? Like you're clearly not that into it. Or, everyone likes to have threesomes and there's no such thing as monogamy. Monogamy feels unnatural. Fine to you, because we're all evolving. To me, don't shame me if I'm not interested in having multiple partners at the same time, or I've never had a threesome. Because even when I get backlash sometimes from some women because not everyone does agree with my opinion on dating wise. And I say, if you're looking for something serious, don't sleep with your partner right away, because then here's what happens. A lot of times when a woman, not a lot of times, sometimes when a woman sleeps with a guy right away these days, then they say things like, well, I just feel like then he changed after we slept together. And it's like, did he really change? Or did you change? Because suddenly your expectations changed. Maybe like suddenly you started to look, oh, he's adding a bunch of girls. Oh, why is he not calling me more? And all these things. So maybe you changed. And that's why things got different, because you suddenly felt emotionally insecure with that guy, because you did sleep with him too fast. But You just don't want to admit it to yourself. So why I say to hold off on sleeping with a man if you're trying to seriously date is because you want the emotional connection to catch up to the sexual connection. So that's how you're able to, have a partner that's, interested in knowing your last name and how many siblings you have. And you kind of get to know them before you get sexual, because you catch up to the emotional connection and you're like, okay, they seem like a suitable partner for me to date. And now you can catch up with the sexual connection, because now your emotional connection is here. I think that will help create a stronger bond in a serious dating. Of course, there's always the rare occasions where two people slept together on the first night and they're still together. So I will say this. If a man is not looking for a relationship with you, it doesn't matter how long you wait to have sex with him. He's still not going to want to date you. So definitely, figure that part out. So I don't say hold off on sex, because then for sure he's going to want to date you. I'm saying hold off on sex so you can kind of have a conversation with this guy to even see if he's a good match for you.
Yeah.
First.